Alright, how's it going, guys? We're here at Connetquot State Park after a little dusting, just getting ready to do a little hike. It's about 27, 28 degrees, so I'm a little more bundled up than I probably normally would be, but you know, it's gonna be a relatively quick hike. Got my gloves, got my little day pack here. Got some geese off in the distance. Yeah, let's do this. Away we go. So our trail today has us going up to the little salmon spawning point. So we're gonna go check that out. Enjoy a little bit of snow. There's a little dusting on the ground. Yeah, should be a good time. I definitely have a little bit of frost nipping at my nose here, but once we get moving, we'll warm up. That's the old hiking adage, right? It's you should always start off cold, because if you start off comfortable, you're gonna start sweating. So should be a good time. I'm excited to see what everything looks like after some snow. Trail. A lot of wind blowing, so you guys might be hearing that. But this is where you actually get into the woods, which is, you know, one of my favorite parts. still making our way here. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure you can probably see behind me. I don't know why this thing is up so high. Just that down. Where's it meant to go up? Who knows? So yeah, Connetquot State Park. Gorgeous area. Actually see horses through here sometimes. And they put white blazes on some of the trees, and it's supposed to be the what's it called now? The Greenbelt Trail. That's it. Kind of like a little mini Appalachian Trail. The one on this side of Long Island, which goes from Heckscher to Sunken Meadow, is like 32 miles, 33 miles, something like that. So one day, hoping to walk that in a day. We'll see. But yeah, we're actually walking through some of it right now, which is lovely. We're about to pass another one of those white blazes on the yellow trail. Let me actually turn so you can see it. So that is the Greenbelt Trail, and that's the yellow trail that we're on. You guys probably hear the ice crunching under my foot. It's iced up pretty good, but man, is it gorgeous. So far, so good. I'm wearing some Merrell Moab mid-sized. They have the ankle guards that come up. If you're, just beginning hiking, looking for an all-around shoe, I recommend them. They're breathable. You don't want to step in, deep or even ankle deep water with them, because water will rush in. But all around, they're pretty good for most things. There's not really, snow going in there. I do have specific shoes if I'm expecting to be going into, very wet conditions, just rain, a lot of mud, stuff like that. Those are waterproof. But personally, I like breathable. I like my feet to feel toasty without being too warm. Alright, let's continue on here. trail is pretty well marked, so you see quite a bit on the way. It's pretty nice. For those of you that are new to backpacking, and just for reference, I try to make these videos basically for like a younger me, right? Someone who wants to get into backpacking, doesn't really know too much about it. So that's why I include stuff about what I'm wearing and beginner stuff, because that's really who I'm gearing this towards, is I'm making the videos that I wish I had when I started off. And in all fairness, I did have them, right? Quite a few people out there have amazing hiking videos, backpacking videos, so forth. But yeah, what you just saw right there was 2 squares, one off center from the other. So again, those are called blazes. And what the blazes signify are that usually you're on the right trail. But if you see 2 stacked directly one on top of another, it's basically like, hey, you're on the trail, but pay attention. Something important is coming up, whether it be a point of interest or whatever. If it's 2 blazes and they're off center, it means the trail turns that way. So if the top blaze is to the left, you turn left. If the top blaze is to the right, you turn right. So assuming you're trying to stay on that trail, it basically just tells you which way to go. And if there's no turning, it's just marked, like we're about to see here. The blaze basically saying for the white trail, stay to the left, and here we have a little intersection. You go either way. The yellow trail goes that way, the white trail goes that way. We're going on the yellow trail. Now what we're doing is we're taking the yellow trail up, but we're taking the red trail down. And that's because the yellow trail is basically an in and back, right? You just go up the yellow trail, come back down. But what I want to do is basically make a big loop. Go up the yellow trail, hop onto the red, come back down using the red. So that's what we're gonna do. We are though very close to the fish hatchery, so I might go in and check that out real quick if we have a few minutes. We do have to be careful because this park closes at 4, and so I definitely don't want to keep anybody here past their after work time, so I want to make sure I get back by 4 o'clock. But yeah, we'll see if we have time and check it out. This is the hatchery. Pretty noisy. Okay, I definitely think I stepped in some goose poop, but what can you do? But that was the hatchery. I didn't want to, record too much. There was some people around. I didn't want to really disturb their peace. They're enjoying it as well. But yeah, now we'll go continue east and we'll try to find the red trail and we'll carry on. I don't think we're gonna have to look too hard because I'm already seeing a red blaze. just gotta say, this area is freaking gorgeous. These little paths, the water, everything. The red trail going back down seems to have narrowed quite a bit. I think it's lovely. I'll turn it around for you guys in a minute here. But yeah, it's definitely a different vibe, that's for sure. You guys see behind me, that trail is about one person wide. I'd have to move over if multiple people were coming through. Wow. Mouth is getting a little cold, but otherwise I feel fine. Keeping it moving feels good. Trail is muddy, but that's not to be unexpected. Or that's not unexpected. There we go. You got snow melt, dirt trails. It's actually in better shape than I was thinking it was going to be, so I'm glad for it. Oh man, I do love winter hikes. Last year I came out here, did a little, walking the trails. And after I went home, my ankles were itchy. And probably later that night, the next day, I started getting all these little, they almost look like tiny mosquito bites. But I'm not really allergic to mosquitoes. Like for me, mosquito bites are pretty small. Probably look like tiny pimples. But they're just all over my ankles. I was like, what is this? Now, so I looked online, and it said the most likely culprit was chiggers. But apparently there's no chiggers up here. So it said, yeah, if you were anywhere else in the country, it might be chiggers, but in New York, it's like the beginning stages of ticks. And man, I hate ticks. I hate ticks. I hate mosquitoes. That's the one thing about hiking, that if I had a magic wand, I could make something go away. And camping and backpacking, I say bugs. I hate bugs, trying to eat my blood. Nobody eats my blood. So that's one thing I love about winter hiking. It's just the fact that you don't have to worry about any of that stuff for the most part. I mean, ticks are really dormant, they're not dead. Mosquitoes are dead. But ticks can actually survive in leaf piles and stuff like that. So you do have to be careful where you're stepping, but for the most part, if it's below freezing out, you don't really have to worry too much about them. And I love that. I can just walk, enjoy the scenery, I don't have to be looking at, am I stepping or am I brushing up against ticks that are going to jump on me. Still do a tick check, quick one, just out of habit, but if I didn't, I could get away with it. So yeah, winter hiking, that's where it's at. So as you can tell, the trail turned into like kind of a wide car gravel path. Not my favorite. Again, I'm on the red trail. It's possible if I had taken the blue trails right across the way over there, maybe that would have been a little bit different. But it's funny, like the red trail started off really thin, as I mentioned early on, and I was really enjoying it, and then it turned on to this section, which is like a car thing. Speaking of trails, again, for the beginners out there, one easy way to get into it, basically for free, is Avenza Maps, Avenza. At first it's a little daunting, but basically they have paid maps and free maps. Like the Connetquot Park map that I'm using is free. It's basically the same map as you would find, if you ask for a map at the front there. But it's in this application, it's a free download, but it has some cool features. Like it obviously maps you in real time, GPS, so it puts your location on the Connetquot State Park map. You can also create your own path, and it tracks it, tells you your speed, tells you your ETA, so forth. And it's free, I think hiking, backpacking, camping, it's not going to be cheap, especially in the winter, but it can be relatively inexpensive. Like you do need yourself some hiking boots, a decent winter coat, But the app is free. If you're going backpacking, a 4-season tent doesn't hurt. And those things add up. But when I first started, I started buying stuff at Walmart, you know, just very basic stuff. Try to figure out what works for me, what doesn't. And that's what I recommend to people. Just, you know, buy some low price gear, see if you like it. Like any other hobby, don't go crazy buying, you know, I mean, the good news is at the high end, right? Like people that are through hikers that do Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Trail and all this stuff, all of their gear combined probably costs about $3,000. So that's on the high end. I mean, you're talking about people whose entire gear set, clothing, well, maybe not clothing, but backpack, cooking set, tent, all of that will weigh like 12 pounds, the whole thing. And you know, as you go down in weight, it goes up in expense. That's pretty common. Oh, dump this on the blue trail now, looks like. So yeah, Avenza maps, great way to get started. You can search by area and see what maps are available. Again, you might see some priced maps on there. Those are typically more kind of premium or, you know, nicer maps. That company, like if National Geographic makes a map, they're not putting it on there for free. But if your local park, your county park, state park, made a map that it gives away, you know, to visitors, that's probably going to be on there. It's going to be free, and you can use that to navigate, make routes, all that fun stuff. So highly recommend it. Well, there's a map. So we parked here. We came up to yellow. Went to the fish hatchery. Caught the red. Went up. Came down. Kept going. This is where it was kind of like thin. And then this is where it dumped us on basically a road, which makes sense. It looks like that might actually be a road. And then it dumped us on the blue trail. And now we're here, almost there. Looks like we might get some views of the main pond. But yeah, let's finish this out. So yeah, like I was saying, relatively inexpensive thing to get into. Some people will be into it, some people not, just like any other hobby. Oh, I got a gorgeous view of the lake over here. Might take a couple pictures. But I highly recommend all trails as well. If you load up all trails, you'll see not only trails around you, but paths that other people have taken. So you can see maps and where people actually are walking, which is phenomenal. Yeah, you don't say. Oh, look at the swans. Wow. So much wildlife out here. One thing I've been meaning to try out, and I haven't quite developed the courage for it yet, is the Sawyer squeeze. Basically dipping it in there, taking a drink. Like I mentioned, I really like hiking in the winter, but the downside of that is the Sawyer squeeze and those type of filtration plastic filters, they're prone to freezing, and if they freeze, water expands and breaks the inside of the filter, and you wouldn't even know it. So you'd be drinking all that gunk. I wish I had a way to test, how effective it is, so you kind of feel confident that everything's still working as intended. As far as I know, they don't. I've seen things online like blow into it. If you can blow into it, it's broken. I don't know. I mean, what if it's just not broken enough to fail that test, but it is broken. So anytime I've gone hiking, backpacking, packed water, made it last. It sucks carrying the extra weight throughout, but I mean, I'm talking about like overnighters. Anything longer than that, that's just not realistic. You can't put 10 pounds of water on your back the whole way. But yeah, that's one thing that I've been kind of meaning to do and test out, is maybe on a little day hike like this, bringing it, trying it out, and then I go home, and if I get the poops, at least I'm near a toilet. that, I think our little adventure is coming to a close. I'm about to be hitting the parking lot here soon. I'll take a look at what the total was, but I'm assuming it was about 3 miles. Something like an hour and a half, maybe a little more, because I did stop a couple times to take pictures and stuff. But yeah, lovely trail. Definitely recommend coming out here. Lovely couple of trails, I should say. And just a gorgeous, gorgeous area. I'll put links to the starting point where the parking lot is, as well as the Connetquot State Park map, and probably a link to the Avenza map for those of you that want to, get started, happen to live nearby, and want to come out here. With that, tell me any particular, spots that you enjoyed, things that you might not have enjoyed. One thing I can tell you right off the bat is the shakiness from this thing, so I might have to figure out a way to prevent the shakiness going forward, but for now, I'm sure we can deal. Alright guys, thanks. Enjoy your hikes, your backpack trips, and your camping trips, and we'll see you out there.